Hey guys, so this video is going to be a vlog. Me starting my vlog about my IVF journey that I am currently on. I'm not a professional YouTuber, so don't judge me, but you can let me know if I need to work on something down below. So I just wanted to go into an explanation on how I ended up here, I guess. I'm gonna make it brief. I can go into more detail later in like a longer video, but basically, we have been trying for 4 years now to have our second child. MJ, our son is 7. We started trying 4 years ago. We went a full year of trying with no success. So we went to my doctor, my OB, and we let her know, what was happening. So she started me on Clomid, a tablet, a pill, to help stimulate ovulation and to see if that would help us. So we did that for 3 cycles. Nothing, no baby. So then she said, okay, there could be something more going on here. And that's when she referred me to a specialist. So I started going to an IVF or infertility doctor. And that's when they ran all of these tests, blood works, ultrasounds, a lot of tests to try to figure out what was going on. So there wasn't anything that was out of the ordinary. I have a tilted uterus, which every woman pretty much has at this point in life. And one of my fallopian tubes was determined to be distal. So that's not, again, a diagnosis. So instead of them going like this, one of mine kind of goes back and then comes forward. But again, not necessarily anything to diagnose infertility with. So I am in the category of unexplained infertility, a category that a lot of people are in. So we started with some of the less invasive techniques. We did those for a few years. I did end up getting pregnant off of an IUI cycle, which if you don't know what those are, I'd be happy to go into detail about what that means as well. Just let me know, comment below. And I did get pregnant, and we found out it was in 2015 that it was a girl, but the baby didn't make it. It just did not continue to grow, so I did miscarry. So we took a year off from fertility stuff. We didn't want to do anything medicated. We just tried to do it the natural way again. Nothing happened, so we're back. Fast forward to 2017, we're back at the doctor. Earlier in this year, we started going. We did a few IUI cycles, and we still weren't having any luck. So our next option was IVF, and that's what we're currently in the process of doing. So we went to the doctor. We said, okay, we're gonna do the IVF because everything else wasn't working. So what they did was they started me on birth control. So I had to do birth control for 3 weeks. That kind of suppresses everything, gets you at a baseline. And then after the birth control for 3 weeks is when you start the injections and the whole process starts. During that time when I was taking the birth control tablets to suppress everything, I had to have a trial transfer. So that's when the doctor pretty much just mimics what he'll do on transfer day, the day when they transfer the fertilized embryo back into you during the IVF cycle. And they just want to do a practice run to make sure everything is a go. That's when I found out that I had a massive polyp in my uterus, and it required surgery for removal. So we did that immediately. About 2 days later, I was kind of rushed into surgery. They removed the polyp, and everything was fine. I was perfectly okay to continue with treatment. So we moved forward, and I started my injections. And then Hurricane Irma came, and I had to stop treatment because, we had a category 3, I believe it was at the time, threatening the state, and for my safety, I couldn't continue treatment because I needed to be monitored, and they just weren't sure they'd be able to monitor me if the office wasn't open because of the hurricane and not having power. So they stopped my treatment. I was devastated. This was in September. I was like, really? I'm this close, and yeah, it got halted. So fast forward, they told me I would just have to wait until my next period comes on. Sorry, it's gonna get a little graphic. And that's when we can start the next cycle. So my period came on beginning of October, and I was able to get started with the injections. So how that procedure works, on day 2 of your period. You go into the doctor's office, they do blood work and an ultrasound. So they're checking your levels. They do a pregnancy test on you. They make sure your estrogen's fine. They do a ultrasound to make sure you don't have any cysts or any more abnormalities going on before you start the medications. And if you're given the green light, they notify you through your portal. You can start your injections that night, which I did. So Tuesday of last week, I was able to start my hormonal injections. And they started me off with 2 injections, Gonal-F and Menopur. So 75 units every night I had to do in the lower abdomen area. And I have videos of me doing those injections. If you guys want to see them, let me know. You know, some people like to see that kind of stuff. It's nerve-wracking to actually do them, but you know. And then I had to do that for 4 nights and then go back to the doctor on Friday. So Friday's doctor's appointment was another blood work and ultrasound just to see how things were progressing. So far, everything was going well, and they had to increase my dosage on the Gonal-F, and they added on an additional injection. So now we're at 3 injections. So that started on Saturday. So Saturday I am doing as of Saturday, I'm doing 150 units of Gonal-F, 75 of Menopur, and we added on the Cetrotide. So 3 injections every night. I went back to the doctor on Sunday. So now we are going to the doctor every other day. These doctor's appointments are blood work and ultrasound. That's going to be the story of my life for another week or so. And they did everything on Sunday. My blood work came back good. My estrogen was at 315, which is good. It needs to increase. I had 12 follicles on one side and 1 on the other. So, you know, I'm starting to see something. So what are follicles? Everyone's probably like, what? So follicles are the little parts of your uterus that house the eggs. I'm trying to describe it the best way. So each follicle has an egg in it. The egg obviously is what gets fertilized and eventually becomes the embryo. So you want to produce a lot of follicles because you want them to be able to retrieve a lot of eggs out of you. The more eggs you have, the more they can fertilize, so the higher your success rate basically in the end. So right now I am on day 7 of my shots. This evening I will do the same 3 injections, and we will go back to the doctor tomorrow morning to find out how things are progressing along. I will be sure to do a video after my doctor's appointment tomorrow to let you guys know what they found. But you know, usually they don't let us know until that evening via the portal what happened or what they discovered or how everything's progressing, if any doses need to be changed. So that's where we are. We are on day 7 of injecting medications, and we also are taking oral antibiotics. They make us take them for 10 days just to make sure there's no infection present anywhere in your body, you know, teeth, anything. So it's just kind of like a precautionary thing, and to make sure you don't get an infection when you go through the procedure. So that's where we are. Any other questions, just comment below. I hope this video is answering any questions that may be out there, and also being informative to anybody that wants to know what it's like to actually be in an IVF cycle. So any other things you guys like to know, just let me know below. I'd be happy to share it. I'm an open book. I'll tell you what's going on in my journey. And if you want to stay updated, just subscribe to my channel, because I will be posting regularly and letting you know what's happening on this cycle and this journey of mine. Thanks.